Whoa! What's happening? Who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? What do I mean by who am I? Okay, calm down. Get a grip now. Ooh, this is an interesting sensation. What is it? It's a sort of a tingling in my... Well, I suppose I better start finding names for things. Let's call it, tail. Yeah, tail. And hey, what's this roaring sound? Whooshing past what I'm suddenly going to call my head. Wind. Is that a good name? It'll do. Yay, this is really exciting. I'm dizzy with anticipation. Or is it the wind? There's an awful lot of that now, isn't there? And what's this thing coming towards me very fast? So big and flat and round, it needs a big, wide-sounding name like ow, ound, round, ground. That's it, ground. I wonder if it'll be friends with me. Hello, ground.
And that's pretty much how it ended up.
And you know,
Fucking nailed it.
That's the first time I've heard the background music to that clip.
Oh, you didn't know there was background music to it?
Not in the other media that I have listened to it. No, the background music did not come out.
Oh, okay.
With the headphones on,
Yeah.
it really bounced, and
Yeah.
that might be because of the update to the software for my sound card in the laptop that let me appreciate the theme music instead of thinking, oh no, that's just too loud. It loses everything. Once that update came through, I was able to hear everything again.
Oh, okay.
So the laptop may actually have better sound than a desktop now.
So, Heather, what are you eating there?
I had a quesadilla.
Ooh,
Dang old
quesadilla.
quesadilla.
A whole case of them?
Yeah. And Blake, are you munching on anything?
Mm-mm. Just finished my sandwiches during the rocket launch. It actually launched this time.
John's got, what is that, coffee?
Just coffee.
Coffee?
I do have a Diet Sun Drop.
Diet Sun Drop. And Dan's got a beer.
Heather has water.
But I have some more chocolate stout. So
okay.
For later.
Well,
as soon as this one's done, I'm going to break into that.
I've got tea, Earl Grey, hot.
It looks kind of lukewarm.
And Blake's playing with his toys.
So, welcome everybody. I think Carleen loves the intro.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
Ouchie.
Make sure I put it on the right color. There you go.
But yeah, we were going to have a couple guests in tonight, but there was some mitigating circumstances that we have postponed their appearance for a later date. So we do have a possible another guest coming in.
It's me. Later. I'm actually here for the first part of the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Our new guest. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll let John be the last man standing tonight.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, John's going to go make chicken fried rice here in a little bit. So.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Take
like
your
fried
cam
rice.
and we'll watch over your shoulder.
Okay.
So funny story.
Yeah.
This week we lived like rock throwing distance from a hibachi restaurant.
Yeah.
And we went to walk our dogs this weekend and got a whiff of what they were cooking at the hibachi restaurant and decided we want hibachi.
Yeah.
So we just got hibachi.
Walked right on in with the dog and the even trade, or
No.
The dog was wearing a mask.
No, it took him 20 minutes to make it. The dogs were in the house at that point. But then he realized why we don't eat there that often.
Not that good.
$62 tab.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, not that good.
Yeah.
not $62 good.
I've got a
Anytime you
panda
have to
across
go to
the
an
street too.
ATM in the middle of a meal to make sure you can pay the bill, that restaurant is not going to be one of your regulars.
Yeah.
It was good. Don't get me wrong.
Like I can get
Oh
away
yeah, they're always
for-
good.
I can get
But
away
he
with
was just
cozy
like,
for 40
I'm never
bucks.
going to
Jeez.
complain about you wanting panda anymore.
When I was stationed in Berlin, I took a bunch of my friends down to this Chinese restaurant I used to love to go to. And it was literally right on the train tracks next to the S-Bahn station. So you could sit here and literally throw egg rolls at the train as it went by. And it had a big deck outside, really great place to go. But we were sitting out front, and in Germany, all the restaurants have to have a menu posted out front of the prices and everything before you can see it before you even go in. And we're sitting there, and somebody asked me, well, how expensive is this place? And we had just gotten off work early. It's like 5 o'clock, busy as heck everywhere. And we're sitting here in front of this place, and somebody asked me how expensive it was, and this big truck pulls up. And the two guys get out, and they go in the back of the truck, and they pull out an ATM machine from the truck and wheel it into the Chinese restaurant. And I go, it's that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, that place was very reasonably priced. I used to love hanging out there. It was just down the street from Girl Watcher's Corner.
From what?
Girl Watcher's Corner.
That sounds like a fun place to be.
Yeah.
It was, well, it's, how was it? It was,
Depends on whether or not you're a girl.
Do you know a place called Girl Watcher's Corner?
in Berlin.
Do you know a place called Girl Watcher's Corner in Berlin?
And not the one in New Jersey.
Or Hoboken.
Very little interaction with
Hoboken.
Berlin.
He's had very little interaction with Berlin.
Oh, okay.
Hoboken.
But it was right next to the government building in the Zeelandorf district. And the thing was, it's a big office building for the government. So they had all these clerks, female typists and stuff like that. They were constantly running in and out of the building. So if you sat there between the bus stop, the train station, and the government building, there were just women running around all day.
Ah,
And
I don't normally have him sitting beside me while I'm doing a show.
Oh.
So it was kind of like, hey, I can ask him about something because I normally forget.
Girl Watcher's Corner, and for those of you, you've probably seen the pictures because they show it occasionally in all the Berlin movies. There's a Woolworths on the corner.
A Woolworths in
A
Berlin?
Woolworths. A lot of people don't know that Woolworths was a German store, sort of.
No, I didn't know that at all. Thank you.
Of course, they have a Ford plant in Berlin. They make Fords. So, yeah.
Oh, well, somebody's got to.
well, y'all are my local people. You're about to start getting amber alerts.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not. I turned it off.
you turned it off.
You
Which
can
means
turn it
I'll
off.
be getting it too.
Literally every time I've gotten an Amber Alert, I'll sit there and be like, "Oh, I can be a hero. I can keep on a lookout."
It's in Arizona.
For the poor child that has been kidnapped, you know, and it's usually like their parent or whatever. It's like a custody dispute or whatever.
There was actually
That doesn't matter. I'm still like on it, you know. I'm like, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for it. And I check my phone, expecting to be the hero of the day, and it's just all like Amber Alert for the entire state of Tennessee. This happened 5 minutes ago in the city of Memphis.
there was
I'm in
actually
Johnson City.
a couple years ago. They found one of the Amber Alerts just a couple of miles away from my house.
Mm.
Yeah. Back when I was delivering pizza all the time, I used to, they had the thing on the board at Walmart when you walk in the entrance of Walmart.
Mhm.
I used to look at those pictures real close and see if any of them were in the area. Because if somebody's kidnapped a child, they don't take the child out of the house very much. They order pizza.
This
Makes
is
sense.
true.
And and if you're a pizza delivery driver, when you show up at the front door, all the kids come running up to see the pizza.
So
that would be a smart place to post them all.
I was to say that I think only one time have I ever looked at this, and of course John was in a better position than I was. There was only one time I looked at those pictures and went, "Wait, I think I know that guy. Like I think I know that kid. Like I've seen that kid somewhere." Right? The problem was that I couldn't remember where. So it was. I was SOL. By the way. Speaking of which, sorry for not being here on time.
Oh, don't
That's
worry.
fine.
I got distracted.
Okay, you see these
Oops.
little You see these 6 little boxes here with people's faces in them? This is not actually real life. Real life is out there when you're not on the show. So yes, we completely understand.
Well, I wasn't here at all on Saturday.
Yeah. So
Real life.
you're cool. You're cool. But what distracted you, Skunk?
It's hard to explain. Maybe I should just show a picture.
It's not the after show, Skunk. Be careful.
So, yeah.
If I see a penis on that screen, I swear to God, Al.
You gotta,
I know. I wasn't ready for the brand.
Somebody click that real quick. Make him happy.
I'm scrolling the brand. I'm scrolling the brand.
See who gets it first.
If there's a wiener on that monitor, I swear to God, Stu.
So,
And he's still ready.
So yeah. So there's this. So, yeah. I'm messing around in FL Studio. This is a music program. And I'm messing around with the MIDI. And it's a song I Got 5 on it by Lunas. But I was noticing that, so here's the notes at the end of the song. And I'm listening to the song, and the notes are wrong on the MIDI, right? And I'm listening to the MIDI, and I'm listening to the actual song, and I can't figure out. I don't know it's off. It's just off. It's off in a weird way. It was distracting me. I couldn't figure it out. Anyway, that was it.
Brian,
Is it way off or just barely?
It feels like it's just barely off, but it does. You know what? I'll tell you what it sounds like, Dan. I'll tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like it sounds like in the actual song. Because remember, this is a MIDI file, so this is different.
Yeah.
It sounds like that little organ that they're using for the bass line, because it's a hip hop song. The little organ they're using for the bass line at that moment. It sounds like they removed part of the chord. So it sounds like it might be like a 3-part chord or a 2-part chord, and they just removed one finger.
Oh,
but the MIDI file isn't set up like that, so I can't. I don't know. It's so weird. It's a weird tonal thing. It sounded like the
chord is missing. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like it was a different note at first when I was listening to it, and I kept going back and forth, and then I realized, oh, it's the same note. It just sounds weird. And then I was like, well, no, it doesn't sound weird. It sounds like something's missing. And then I think I figured it out. I think it's a chord, and so I don't know. Anyway, the whole entire reason I was messing around with that was I've been using this cool software that I'm paying a lot of money to use because I need to eventually shut it off. But it's called Iva.
I'll be right back.
And what it is you send.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll show you a picture of it.
We've talked about this before. It's really awesome.
This thing. Have I talked about this before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you and I talked about it on the show about a month ago.
Well, was everybody else here, or was it just you and me BSing after the show?
No, it was everyone. Like we were here. You didn't play anything for anybody, but you showed them how to set up the different, and it's even changed since then because now they have expert mode and a regular mode now.
They have all sorts of cool stuff now. You can do. There's a synthwave. There's a bunch of.
You can download Rock.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different synthwave ones that you can do now. As far as the compositions go, if I go to create track and go to preset styles and go under modern cinematic, well, yeah, I'm gonna go to advanced view real quick. There. All right, I can choose instrumentation and choose synthwave. And that's really cool because it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like Kavinsky or I tell you who it sounds like. It sounds like Wendy Carlos or like Goblin or something. It's like synthwave movie music. It's that 80s synth, music. Not quite Carpenter. It doesn't get that dark, but it does get to it really does sound like something that like Wendy Carlos would put in the Tron soundtrack, and it's really cool. But anyway,
like crystal castles and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I was
I bet I blew everyone's mind with that one.
Well, I was wondering how many people know that you're talking about a musical artist and not a video game.
True, that too. We're nerds on different levels.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there. I was working on that. That is because I'm uploading different influences into it, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a little short intro going because pretty soon Scrub House is going to have its own live StreamYard show.
Ooh.
And I want to make a little intro video for it with music that I don't have to music I don't have to worry about if I play the music on the show on like Twitch or something. We're not going to get demonetized or not demonetized. Copyright strikes. I don't want to copyright strikes.
DCMA.
I don't want to get demonized because when we did the Scrub House. When we did the Scrubcast, a little podcast thing, me and Audrey were doing for a little while, we were using a song from the club scene in Vampire's Kiss, but since we're going to be streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, I'm afraid that if I play anything, even if it's just off the soundtrack of that movie, I'm afraid I'm going to get nailed.
Yeah.
So
it can happen. It can happen.
You got to watch. There's a difference between strike and claim.
Well, I know that.
Yeah,
I was the one that told you that. I was the one that explained it to you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I don't want either, and that's mostly a YouTube thing. We're going to be going on Twitch, and we're going to be going on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And the problem, the thing that scares me about that is going through all of those platforms, right? Is that something that could get you struck with you talked about the copyright claim on YouTube, the video still plays just fine.
Yeah.
On Twitch, your audio gets muted. On Facebook, your stream is stopped.
Yeah.
Now, all of them, you're not going to get struck for it. You're not going to get a copyright strike. You're not going to get in trouble. That's how they handle it. Everybody handles it differently. And the problem with that is that I don't want any of that to happen. So I want our shows to be completely uninterrupted. So instead, I'm going to create. Well, I'm using IVA because I don't want to have to think about it. Plus, I'm paying for the software. I should use it.
Yeah, you're paying for the licensure anyway. Really.
So I'm going to.
I need to write some more stuff because I've been paying for Music Maker, and they keep hitting me up wanting me to do an upgrade, and it's a really good bargain. But I haven't been writing any music lately. So.
Well, the thing about it is I don't want. I'm busy with so much other stuff. I figure I'll just let Iva do it. Plus, like I said, I'm paying for it, so I want it to do some cool stuff. And if it does cool stuff, then yay. And if it doesn't, then whatever. I just keep screwing around with it until I get something good.
Yeah, Brian Moore says there are companies that go around YouTube and Facebook trying to claim copyright violations and thus your money from the videos. That he's been finding claims for 3 months now.
And I bet they don't even have the copyrights. They're just jumping in.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a thing that does happen a lot, actually. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah. The intro that you made for Halocon, I've had to fight the copyright claim. And, I
over the classical music.
Over the classical music.
Yeah.
And then, I said, I replied back. It was written by... I gave his full name, Chopin, in like 1820. and was released
The
nearly 100 years before copyright law was written. This claim is bogus. And Carl Wisman says, yeah, it's like blackmail.
Yeah, they expect you to get scared and go, oh, I can't afford the lawyers, I better pay them, without considering the fact that the people that are jumping on you might not even have the slightest right to be jumping on you over the copyright.
And Brian Morris is pretty much, Carl, unless you let them know you're on to them, then they behave like cockroaches when you turn on the kitchen light. Yeah. And now this is something, copyrights last for 90 years now.
Thanks to the mouse, yes.
I bet you in 2023, that's going to be extended way much longer. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Steamboat Willie, or Whistling Willie, as some people call it, rolls into public domain in 2023.
Well, it was supposed to go in forever ago, and Disney fucked the copyright.
Yeah, and I guarantee you they're going to extend that copyright
again.
Yep. If you buy enough lawyers, you can get just about anything legal.
Oh yeah. And what did you do?
Hillary just came in from outside. She's freezing cold, and she's one of those bitey, clawy, affectionate cats.
Oh.
Yep, and she's about 14, so I just let her get away with just about anything she wants, except for drawing blood. And she just came close to that line.
Yeah, Greg's cat's about 8 months old and still tries that crap. She don't get away with it.
Oh. We've got 2 of the original 4 left. And one refuses to come in the house, and Hillary, her sister, really just goes out and goes, okay, the dog wants back in, so do I.
Hillary's sister, you didn't call her Tipper, did you?
Nope. She was named after Sir Edmund Hillary because she was the first kitten to discover that baby gates are climbable.
Mm.
Her sister Susie is the only other of the original 4 kittens left. And then we've got, I think, 13 or 14 others living outside that started off in the house and decided they wanted to be living in the dog pen, where, unless the raccoons and the possums climbed in, they were safe. I mean, we haven't had a fox or coyote climb in yet, mostly because they're afraid the cats will eat them.
Yeah.
Brian Morris, 16 cats going to strip a coyote to the bone in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Brian Morris says if Steamboat Willie doesn't spur another Bono copyright extension, then 2027 will. That's when Action Comics #1 goes into possible public domain.
I keep thinking Heather got her letters from Hogwarts. I keep thinking. I kept seeing the needle sticking up like a wand. I'm like, oh yeah, knitting.
No.
And if she did get her letter to Hogwarts, she can poke that thing through the screen, John.
Yeah. And John got my little joke that I made about your cat, but I don't know if you caught it or not.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, I caught it, but I'm used to deflecting it. I think this cat has precedence over the actual name. The other one was totally unknown at the time.
Heather didn't get a letter to Hogwarts, but Heather did get a passing grade to go on to next semester. 4 months until graduation.
Congratulations.
4 months.
Yeah, and you're going to be raking yourself over the coals, being worried about that the entire semester.
April?
May.
Yep, she's got a little bit of time between.
You go back in May, or you graduate?
No, I go back in January.
Okay, and you graduate in May. Okay, I thought you said you went back in May, and I'm going, dang, that's a long time.
No, I go back at the end of January.
Spring break there.
I go back at the end of January.
Okay. Oh, welcome back.
And then we're all going to be there at the graduation going, woo!
Betcha. Oh,
Brian, our guest didn't show up.
You'll know
We've
it's
got
us because
one
there's
slot
going to be
open.
somebody holding up a little cell phone with our pictures on it.
Carl says, yay, Heather. And Carlene goes, yay, congrats, Heather. Now, guys, we got to go to Heather's graduation. I'll bring cowbells and air horns.
And one of those big heads. But it's instead of her head, it's a rocket ship.
What are you doing, Heather?
My husband lost his personal phone.
Oh,
So I'm calling it so that he can find it. And I don't think he's going to because I don't hear it ringing. It's ringing here, but it's not ringing in the house.
He left it in the truck.
Is it
Probably.
Well, it beats leaving it on the job site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only left my phone.
I
at
hope
work
he
one
didn't
time.
leave it at the job site. It's in Alabama.
Well, that would be
It's a long way to go
call.
get a phone.
Hey, what's rough is when you lose your phone and you call and somebody calls it and you're standing right next to them, they call it and they go, hey, you found our phone. Where is it?
This is what I do.
Mm-hmm. You and your fancy Apple technology.
He left it in Alabama.
He left it in Alabama.
He left it in Alabama.
When does he go back?
Did you leave it in Alabama? Oh, that's even worse. It went through the washing machine.
Oh, new phone time.
Should have been in Alabama.
Yeah, really. It
That
beat
may
him
be
to
one
get
of the
back.
few times being in Alabama would have been preferable.
Put it in a rice bag.
To waste a
He
good
Tell me
ride.
if that
dropped
actually works.
this phone in a catch plate that goes under your AC. When our AC, when it wasn't draining, he dropped it in that. He's dropped this phone. It's a Galaxy S5.
We found it, Carl.
Oh, it was found, Carl. It was
In the spin cycle.
It's just he goes, oh no, I didn't, and I'm like, he left it in Alabama. Where is
I've
it?
watched the phone before.
In the phone, or in the washer. I didn't take it out of my pants.
I've
heard of money laundering, but this is ridiculous.
I can wash this one.
that. Damn it! That just reminded me of
Prove
something
it.
horrible.
I don't believe you.
Well, not horrible, but it reminded me of a quote.
No, that's what they just said. Prove it. I'm like, no.
Stupid.
We got a bucket.
There was an article. There was a review of the 2003 remake of Dawn of the Dead. 2003, 2004, somewhere around there.
Yeah, around the boat.
Right. And there was an article that was written about it. There was a review, and it was like, and then at the end of the movie, bam, tits on the screen. It's like finding a 20 in the wash. That's such a horrible line, but I love that. It's like finding a 20 in the wash.
I found a 5 in the parking lot last week.
Dude,
The only reason I noticed it was that there was a stray cat in the grocery store parking lot. Looked almost exactly like one of mine.
I don't,
And
you know what?
That is 7.
I saw the cat and I go, Pinky, because it's a calico, and looked over. The cat looked at me like it knew who I was and was answering a name. I stopped the car. I got out. I walked up. The cat turned around and ran, and I looked down and there was a $5 bill at my feet.
That was Lucky Money Cat.
Well, yeah, Lindsay said, "Hey, that was just the
Hello,
angel
Kitty.
telling you to stop and get that damn money."
Mhm.
All right.
Well,
So,
I'm-
real quick, I just want to say this: if you ever see something like this, right, and it's just laying on the ground, you see it like this, walk away. Just walk away.
oh,
Did you
that's
get
one of
did you
them-
get the church money?
I'm going to tell
That's
you
one
right
of those
now. it's a
scripture
Bible
things, isn't it?
tract. Yeah, it's a Bible tract. If you see it and it's like actually laid out and it's all crumpled up and stuff, then yeah, dude.
What I hate is when people leave those instead of tips.
Oh God, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
all my
I don't
wage.
know how many times I'd go to pick up money on that. I'd look at it and I'd be like, that's not a freaking tip.
And
And
I mean,
then you remember them, and then you punch them in the face.
I don't
And
want
it
to.
happens on Sundays.
I really don't.
Of course, because that's how the Jesus pays for everything
I
with
really,
Bible verses.
I really don't think like that. Let me rephrase. I really don't want to offend anybody of any religious standing or anything. Every time I've gone to a bathroom and found a Jack Trick track sitting on the toilet, I always throw it in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every
That's about
time.
where it goes.
No,
So,
Brian,
you know, be on it.
I don't believe the cat owned the fiver. I think it was just trying to draw my attention to it.
What if the cat was trying to get you to buy cat food for it?
Hmm
yeah.
I would have
Hey,
done it.
he'll-
Now, Joe
It
was saying
It
something-
ran off though.
Joe was saying something earlier when I wanted to bring up the $10 thing.
Yeah.
But
No, Dan, something like that happened to us once before. We have, had. I'm partial to black cats anyway,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting in the living room and I look out the window and there's this black cat sitting on the banister of the house. And I thought, who the hell let you out? So I go open the door and I said, get your ass in here. And the cat hops down, looks at me sort of crazy, sort of meows, and sort of walks into the house. And I, reach down, pick it up, and it's sort of skittish. And I said, what the hell's wrong with you? And I looked down and it was a boy. Our cat was a female.
Mhm.
Black cats are a gas.
In my experience, they've been a bang.
And John, puppies are the shit.
Yeah, that too.
Joe,
It's
What?
about time for this.
Did one of your little puppies have an accident?
Oh, it did, right in his lap.
Well, besides that
I
part,
just found this at the grocery store today. I've never tried it.
So
So
I
I'm
just
about
want,
two.
I just want to point out, Dan, that we were just talking about puppies shitting all over the place, and you have a chocolate stout.
Yep.
the poo-poo stout.
It's not a dog shit stout. It's a chocolate stout. I mean,
That would actually be a beer name. You know that, right? You do
It's-
know there's a company that has that as a name.
dog
Brian.
shit stout.
Somebody
Brian,
maximize this screen.
Brian, I want to bring this up real quick because I did see one that when I saw it, I before I threw it in the toilet, I read through it because I wanted to know what the hell it was talking about. And it was a comic. It was a Jack Chick Trek comic that had no words, just pictures. And I was like, oh, they've made them simpler for these people to understand. And all it was it
3D
was
puppy.
basically the story of like how everyone has sinned and how you have to, accept Jesus in order to get in or whatever. But it was done in this artsy way where nobody, like everybody is covered in filth to represent original sin. And the only people that
Oh,
get
the mud people one, yes.
yeah. And what I found so funny about it was like the second to last panel, this entire comic from beginning to end has been nothing but these comics that are the characters that are they look like the Archie people, right? Archie people. Now I'm going to use the following terminology here. They're all white.
This
Everybody-
Yeah, when they're all clean, they're white. Yeah.
White.
This is the one I found in my beer.
Hold up. No. I want to point out something though, Blake. They're all white. They're covered in filth, but they're all white. And the second to last, or no, it's like the third to last panel, right? One black character. One black character. And she's the only one paying attention to the fact that people are going to heaven. Everybody else is walking past. And I went, is he, what is Jack saying with this comic? I'm very confused because I know he's racist. So what was the point of this? It's very strange. And then I threw it in the toilet and pissed on it.
I'm reminded of George Carlin's stories about the Christian tracts that he ran across in the Catholic school, where you had Dusty, The Adventures of Dusty and Buddy.
Oh, yes.
Where Dusty was a Catholic and Buddy was not. Always trying to get Dusty to eat a hot dog on Friday. Yeah.
Always trying to get him to eat a hot dog on Friday. Oh, God, I forgot about Buddy and Dusty.
Oh, man. And he goes on further about how many people are in hell for beef jerky.
Yeah.
There's an idea. Make fancy dress knee pads for Catholics.
Like little tuxedos, like
well, it's just made out of nice material.
That could be a thing.
Check what Brian said, Skunk.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, like if you've seen some of his more hardcore, usually the ones you see, like the usual one is the "This Is Your Life," and then depending on what part of town you're in, you might see another one. You'll see a lot of the trucker ones at the truck stops. But if you've ever because I got introduced. Well, I already seen the Jack Trick tracks. I didn't know what they were about. I was like, oh, it's another Bible thing. Whatever, throw it in the garbage. But oh God, Ira. You guys remember Ira? Because he used to go to the cons.
Yeah.
Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I worked with this dude. That's how I met him. I worked with him at the post office, and post office. I worked with him at the postal service. We didn't work in a post office. We worked in it was a warehouse with computers. What it was. But basically, he was the one that introduced me to him because he was old school, hardcore, like oi skinhead style atheist. Like he was like agnostic front atheist. Like so, he was very much militant about it. Which I was less so. But me and him and Mark and Bob. I mean, we all sit there talk about Subgenius and stuff like that. He was the first one to introduce me to Jack Chick tracks, and he would show these to. He would send me links to them because he had them all on his website. And a new one would come out. Ira would be like, "Oh, you got to read this one. Oh, it's really bad." And I remember he sent me one, and he was like, "I don't think it gets any worse than this." And I was like, "Oh no, what is it?" And I click on it, and it was just like several pages of Jack Chick just being all like, "If you're not a white Christian American, you're going to hell." And it was literally every page was just all like, "Japanese, you're going to hell. If you're African, you're going to hell. If you're an Israelite, you're definitely going to hell." Horrible stuff. He's a monster. So that's why, with other Bible tracks, I either ignore them or if somebody hands me one, I throw it in the garbage. But with Jack Chick, it's always in a bathroom, or I make sure it ends up in one so I can pee on it because piss on that man. He's a horrible
to quote a
monster.
great man, I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. The sinners are much more fun.
Yep.
Well, to quote a wonderful fictional character, Dad always said it was better to reign in hell than to surf in heaven. Well, I'm tired of surfing in hell.
I didn't know you worked at Walmart.
No, I worked at Best Buy. Which no, it's nowhere near as bad as Walmart. I know people that used to work at Walmart. I know people that still work at Walmart. Goodness. This was months ago. God, I don't even remember when this was. I ran into a friend of ours. He was working at Walmart. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there just being like, I thought you had a career. Like,
It's like I thought you were a lawyer.
Well, no, and it turned out what it was. He was just trying to get some extra money. He's just working there part time for a little extra money. Because stuff, whatever he was doing, his regular day job, things were slow, so he was just making some extra money, and I was like, cool. I'd see him in there every once in a while, but it was just shocking because I was like, what are you doing working at Walmart?
I'm reading a banner.
I was thinking about that banner.
Joe, you're gonna
Earlier.
have to add Walmart to that.
I can't add no more.
He hit his
He
character
ran
limit.
out of characters.
No.
Character limit.
Now, well, you could get rid of StreamYard. I mean,
Oh no! I wouldn't do that.
No,
We're still using them.
Yeah. In fact, like I said, when Scrubhouse Live goes up, we actually have a thing that says "Brought to you by StreamYard," and boy, would it be really nice if our show was really super popular and it got more people to use StreamYard. StreamYard would not charge me $90 a year. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud.
hey Joe, it says HalloCon.
Yeah.
The views expressed here do express the views of HalloCon.
No, they don't.
They do in your state here.
No. Allow me, John, to put forth an example of why that's not the case. Let's say that who's a good example? Jason Blumhouse, the film company. If Jason Blum were to make some kind of remark, not a negative remark, mind you, but just any kind of remark, maybe make a positive remark. If he came out and said Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the best actors of this generation, or of any generation, right? But Blumhouse as a company doesn't want to hire him because he's very expensive. So his opinion does not reflect the views of Blumhouse. Jason Blum's opinions do not affect the views, or not necessarily the views of Blumhouse. You see what I'm saying? That's the best way I can explain it, because I'm kind of dumb. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I'm kind of an idiot.
No, you were not
No.
an idiot.
Not at all.
I disagree with that entirely.
I don't.
What would it?
You're
What is
not
it
an
called?
idiot. You're
And the
just
views and
enthusiastic.
opinions, the views and opinions of me do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of all of you.
What do you call it where people cannot voice their thoughts? I can't remember the word for it.
Censorship.
Not
That's what I was
forced
thinking,
to,
too.
but just can't.
Brain damage.
No,
Uh,
that's me.
not autism. You mean like the
Dysphagia.
stuttering I'm doing now?
Say it again,
Aphasia.
Heather. Heather's got it.
Dysphagia.
Dysphagia is where
Where
you
you
can't put,
get it here, but you can't get it out here.
Yeah, aphasia. Well, it used to be
Wait a minute.
aphasia.
Let
It
me
might
look
be
that up.
dysphagia now.
Spell that, Heather, if you can.
DYS. Yeah, it's aphasia. APHASIA.
Okay, wait a minute.
Carl Whitzman did. Carl Whitzman's got it up for you.
Oh, do it.
Yep.
Dysphagia is difficulty swallowing. Aphasia is difficulty speaking.
Yeah.
Different words.
I-
One goes one way, one goes the other.
Yep.
Um,
I've got that. I suffer from
I
that
get both
myself.
ways.
And you have difficulty swallowing somebody else's crap, is what it is, Skunk. You ain't taking no shit off nobody.
Everybody heard what I said?
I heard what you said. And let
hey, wait a minute. Aphasia is a medical condition. It involves damage or injury to a specific area of the brain. That would not count in this.
Okay.
Because it's just.
I do want to point out something really funny that happened on Twitter today. Somebody had posted something along the lines of ABC was making a very, very good political point that, or not political, but societal. That in professional wrestling, if you are not queer, you shouldn't do a gay or trans gimmick in wrestling. If you're not gay or trans, you're not a queer person, you shouldn't be doing one of those gimmicks in wrestling, no matter what anyone says, because it is offensive and it's bad. Please don't do it. So please don't pretend to be gay. Was the exact wording he used at the end of that. Please don't pretend to be gay. I said, can I pretend to be straight? He didn't respond. I think I made him mad.
He may not even talk to you anymore.
I didn't even know who that guy was. There's some dude on Twitter. Somebody else responded to him, but that's how come I saw it. You know how it is when you on Twitter and Facebook, like, your friend replied to this comment. Okay.
I've got those shut off because I don't want to know what people say. I am already pissed off about something right now, and I'm trying to maintain my cool.
What did I do?
You ain't done it.
Wait, Joe. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yes.
Do I know who did it?
No.
Oh, well, then I don't really give a shit.
You don't know them personally.
Not giving a shit is a really valuable philosophical point of view these days.
Oh, Joe, now you're giving hints. I like this. This is like playing 20 questions with somebody's life. I was really hoping
all we got to do is wait till the after show when he explodes.
Carl goes, bring out the brandy. No, Carl, I'm not going to say what I need to say is going to be said stone sober, so people will know I'm serious.
Also, Carl, just want to point out, he finished the brandy. Did you see the last show?
A review of the chocolate stout. It's got the IPA chemical wang in the background.
Yeah, it's sweet water. I knew that was going to happen.
I'm not going to buy it again, but I will finish the 6-pack.
Oh, and we will have to end the after show at midnight tonight because I have to get in bed because I've got to go sit in line tomorrow morning at the Alston plant.
Mm-hmm. Is he tested or vaccinated?
He's gonna get a needle in
I'm gonna get a fucking brain probe.
You and me both, brother. I gotta go at 3 p.m.
Well, I'm not going to say the insulting thing that crossed my mind. Thank you.
It's not fun. Like, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's not designed to be fun. It's designed to
Does it make your eyes itch? It's that far back.
I was sitting there like this the entire time that he was doing it. Just trying to keep from jerking and hitting.
I just don't want to sneeze and like shoot it into its head or something.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I stopped breathing.
Check this out. I don't know if this is sensationalist reporting or not, and it kind of feels like it is. Like we there's nothing else going on right now in the world that's more important than us getting a vaccine for this horrible disease. It's kind of like thousands upon thousands of people every day, right? But they still can't help themselves but to take a minor thing and sensationalize the hell out of it. Right? So, did you hear about the COVID-19 vaccine and what is happening in the UK? They did
zombie apocalypse. Please be a zombie apocalypse.
2 people that I know of have been reported to have taken it. The second one was named William Shakespeare.
Now, That's not what I was at. A few people have taken it now. Like a small
There's
handful.
some severe allergic reactions that are happening to the vaccine.
Yes,
Two
yes.
people.
Two people had quote unquote severe allergic reactions. Right, severe allergic reactions. Two people. Right now, before the vaccine was being given out or to people, they had done tests on this thing.
It's got some really bad side effects.
There were well, there was a bunch of testing done prior to them releasing it, right? But it's still on a trial basis, and I think one of the things what I'm trying to say is that they're giving it to people right now is another test. So these newspapers in the UK are sensationalizing this, being all like, "Oh no, they're putting out this horrible thing. It's going to cause everybody with allergies to die." And it's like, no, they
two people out of 10,000.
This is just another.
Is that how many vaccine? Okay,
this is just
that's a fair statistical number there. Two is very insignificant to the other 9,998.
If it was, if they were saying this is the vaccine, we're putting it out there, everybody gets the vaccine. If you want it, they're not doing that right now. It's a very limited run at the moment because they're still testing it. So yes, two people had allergic reactions. You know what that means? Out of 10,000 people, two people had allergic reactions. They're going to go, okay, if you have severe allergic reactions, this might not be a good thing to take.
No, in the meantime, you don't know if you're going to have one until it happens.
Well, it's like anytime that you go get a flu vaccine, what do they ask you before they give you the flu vaccine?
Are you allergic to eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I was in the military. I was in the military. I'm surprised this arm hasn't fallen off from all the damn needle jab.
Oh,
and I've got to answer Carl Wilson real quick. Carl, no, I do have another bottle. It's out in the building, and my tight, stingy butt doesn't want to go crack it open because it's for Halicon.
Now
back to skunk.
Yeah, now here's the thing. Here's the thing on that, right? I'm allergic to eggs.
Ooh. Well, now the thing is,
no COVID
new
vaccine for me, which means that
COVID doesn't have eggs.
Joe, are you allergic to eggs? I know you're not allergic to eggs.
No.
Blake, are you allergic to eggs? Dan? John?
Oh, I'm Southern. No, I'm not.
Heather, are you allergic to
I was
eggs?
born in an egg.
Unless they make the vaccine out of leaf mold, I'm fine.
All right. So you know what that means?
It'd have to be rat pollen for me to be allergic.
Okay. But here's my thing. Because what Heather just said. And I believe that this might be the same thing with this vaccine, right?
Yeah.
That means all of you need to go get the vaccine when it actually does come out. You want to know why? Herd immunity only works if everybody's in on it, okay? And the thing about it is that if I can't get the vaccine, if I can't have it because of my allergic reaction that I have with eggs, I need all of you to go get it. Because if I can't get the vaccine, then I'm in danger.
Yes, exactly.
Because when the vaccine does go public and it does go American, everybody's able to get it here in this country, right? Okay? If people don't go and get it because they're afraid of it or they don't want to or whatever, it doesn't matter. Once the vaccine comes into this country, everything's going to reopen again in like a month. Because guess what? We have a vaccine. And they're going to say, you had the option to go get the vaccine. If you didn't go get the vaccine, it's your own damn fault. And the problem is, I won't be able to do it if I'm allergic to eggs. So,
now wait a minute.
Go get the damn vaccine when it comes out. Don't fuss about it.
Now, the COVID thing, I don't think is egg based, just so you know.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
That's how you grow a coronavirus.
Because of the bird flu kind of thing?
Finger for some reason.
Yeah. That's entirely possible, but I'm not an expert. Don't.
You're
quote me
all
on that.
screwed anyways because there's no long-term immunity.
No, you're going to have to keep getting the vaccine.
You're going to
every
have to
year.
get a vaccine
Just like the flu.
every quarter.
Mhm.
Not like
Every
once a
4
year with the
months.
flu. Every quarter.
And
The
what-
immunity does not last more than 3 months.
Yeah. Now here's the thing that the anti-vax people are going and the conspiracy theorists. It's a perfect way for them to plant a tracker in you.
Yeah.
Okay. Have
that's
you
not how
ever
that works.
have you ever seen the needle it takes to plant a tracker in you?
No
Hold
kidding.
up,
Yeah.
Joe. Hold up, Joe. No, let me take it a step further.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a needle they can plant a tracker in you? A tracker, remember, specifically, where they could go to a computer and at any time find out exactly where you are. You ever
And
seen a
that's-
needle
that's-
that fucking big?
That
You have
is,
to be
that
like
is
this.
much larger than the
big.
RFID
The thing-
chip in the kit.
Yeah, the thing that you're talking about is an RFID chip, and that's just a scanning device. I have a buddy of mine with an RFID chip in his hand. He walks up to his van and it unlocks automatically. You know, they put those in dogs. That's the needle you're talking about. That's like this big around for putting in the RFID chip, right? If you wanted to put a tracking device in somebody, you'd be looking at a needle this big around because that's how big it would have to be because it would have to have a computer inside of it in order to be able to relay information back and forth to GPS. You'd have to have a GPS transmitter in it, and it'd have to have a battery. We're talking
No.
about something the size of a freaking pack of smokes.
No, skunk, you're wrong.
This big. It would be this
No.
big.
They have tracking chips similar to the RFID chip that works on the cell phone network.
Yeah.
If you walk anywhere near a cell phone tower, it gets enough power to send a ping just from the electromagnetic
Okay.
Just from
radiation
the,
coming off the
ambient
cell phone tower.
radiation.
It needs a
If
battery.
you got a cell phone in your pocket,
You
it
are the
powers
battery at that point. You're heat.
No, the cell phone tower is the battery.
It just absorbs the microwave radio or the the electromagnetic radiation coming off the cell phone.
You can actually use a needle as small as that what they use to implant hormones into somebody, like for birth control or to stop your body from producing certain hormones.
But
Now,
the thing is,
here is the point. Here is the point. Sorry, Joe. Why bother? Everybody has a freaking
Alexa,
cell
stop.
phone. They already know where you are within 3 feet.
They
Yeah,
already
of
know
your
what you're
physical
talking about.
location. Yeah, really. My wife and I can talk in front of the television with no microphone in there,
damn
and our cell phone will pick up what we're saying, and we'll get Facebook ads about whatever we were talking about, whatever product, because our cell phone picked it up.
Mhm.
I mean,
Dan, did you read what Brian just posted?
Actually, that would probably be large enough for the chip that they're afraid of.
Yeah. That's what it's going to take.
We're talking horse pills here.
Okay, I bet skunk hasn't done it, but I want to see how many other people have done it. How many people have ever built or used a crystal radio before?
Wait, John, what did you say about me?
I've used one.
I
I
don't
haven't
think
built
skunk has
one.
ever used one. A crystal radio.
I made
I
one.
had a crystal radio kit when I was a kid. Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay, I didn't know if they still made them. No, we used to have chemistry kits when we were kids.
I had the chemistry kit too.
I accidentally destroyed my chemistry kit when I first got it. As soon as I got my chemistry kit, because the first thing I did was put all the iron shavings, right? You're supposed to do the magnet thing with, and I dumped them into water. I screwed up. You're supposed to dump them in oil. I didn't know that. So I dumped them into water. And after a while, I just got a rusty jar of water, and the magnet was doing dick to it. And I felt like an idiot when I read, I read the label. There's a label on there. I didn't know.
I was
water.
going through the book like, where is the instructions for RDX?
Where's the magnesium? That's what you set on fire.
Oh,
Rust-
I got
Rust
Now-
and magnesium.
Now, who's had the entire
Aluminum.
kit and started going a little of this, a little of this, a little of
That
this,
was me.
a little of that?
I think everybody with a chemistry set.
When you had the old
Don't mix this with that. Okay.
When you had the old
Why not?
set, and they gave you the little, they gave you the little bottles. They gave you the little bottles, and each little bottle had a different thing in it. This one's sulfur. This one's saltpeter. This one's
sulfur's fun to catch on fire too.
Saltpeter, it was potassium nitrate. Get your terminologies right.
Yeah, potassium nitrate, sulfur, a little carbon.
Oh yeah, you were on your way to making you were on your way. You bought one of those old chemistry sets. They still made those all the way up through the 90s, by the way. This is when I got mine. They gave you all the ingredients to make your own gunpowder, but they wouldn't tell you how to do it.
No, you had to read H.B. Popper books to do that.
Joe, what was the name of that toy? What was the name of that toy store?
No, that's not really accurate.
The Highland Plaza.
A&M Toys.
A&M Toys. They used to have a whole section just for.
Or not Hobbyland. Hobby Town. Hobby Town used to carry them.
Yeah. Really?
Sears used to carry them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sears. You used to get them out of the Sears catalog.
Yeah, but Carl's right. Back in Carl's day, you could get them with radium.
Yes, that's true. That is true. There is. This is obviously definitely no offense, Carl. This was definitely before my time, but I read about it on the internet. There was a atomic lab chemistry kit that you could get that came with a little bit of radium, a little bit of plutonium, a little bit of it was decayed isotopes. It wasn't anything that was going to kill
uranium, actually.
But it came with these that were actual like nuclear, like I said, they were decayed isotopes. They weren't, you couldn't use them to build a reactor or anything. But it was, back then and back in the 50s and 60s. Oh, why radiation? It's so cool to play with.
Now I just wonder if the large increases of childhood cancer in the 60s and 70s wasn't directly related to that shit.
Wasn't my house.
Well, my dad has a
my
theory.
dad worked at Oak Ridge. I can't say nothing about that.
My dad.
All he had to do was track stuff in on his shoes.
If you go back, go back and look at photos. You go back and look at photos back in the day of, and this is going to get a little racy. Go back in the day and look at photos of girls from like the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. Now look at girls of the same age, teenage girls today. Right?
Yeah.
How voluptuous they are. And
Ask him how many likes chicken nuggets.
And that's what my dad was saying. It's the hormones and the chicken and the milk is causing these girls to develop faster and bigger than ever. And
no, I think it's
no. If that's,
I think it is human choice directing evolution in action.
That's
well, it also depends on what their weight is, because one of the main problems that we have in America right now is this thing called obesity. And
obesity.
I've heard that word before.
I don't know anything about that.
Children who are like not just chubby, but I mean are obese, are going through puberty at an earlier age because they've got the body fat on them for the brain to be like, oh, they've reached this certain point in their life. It's time. And their pituitary starts sending out hormones.
And that goes all the way back to, 70,000 years ago?
I'd like to tell Heather a little story real quick about this girl that my dad affectionately referred to as the Princess of Shortness. Her name was Linda. She was a friend of my sister. She was in my grade though, which meant that me and her did not get along at all, even though she was friends with my sister. And Linda, before she was, I think, around 11 or 12 when she hit puberty, and before that, Linda was skinny as a beanpole. Linda made plastic straws look fat. Then she hit puberty, and she no longer looked like a plastic straw. She looked like a plastic straw with big tits. She just suddenly, out of nowhere, had like double D breasts. And it was scary Like, she could stand up and cause wind shear, man. And of course, she was the most popular girl at school.
Yeah.
After that particular point
She
in
was,
time.
yeah, because she was like 5 foot tall and had breasts to fit Shaquille O'Neal.
I've got something to say to Brian here.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Brian, there used to be an industry in Athens, Georgia, which actually painted radium numbers and dots on watch dials, clock dials, and things like that. And there was a really bad outbreak of cases where they would paint it on with regular paintbrushes, and they only hired women to do this. God only knows why. But the girls would lick the paintbrushes, dip it in the radium paint, do a couple of numbers, lick the paintbrush again. And it was sort of like a phosphor jaw back in the 1800s with the people that were working in the matchstick factories. Same sort of thing. Yes, radium girls. Now, this place, it was a small building, about twice the size of an average 2-car, 3-car garage. It was the most radioactive site in the state of Georgia. And it cost about $250,000 to clean up as a extreme hazard site. I think they probably inflated the cleanup to an even million, just to give the people that were driving the bulldozers and packing the canisters with dirt that had to be taken out to the Midwest and dumped in the same sort of hole in the ground that they were storing nuclear waste. And then it became a gas station. It was the best gas in Athens. So let me tell you, that stuff would drive your car further than any gas ever. Then the gas station was torn down, and now it's a McDonald's. And
buy you a hamburger.
They don't.
Double
They
quarter
don't. They
pounder with
save,
cheese that grows another double quarter pounder with cheese.
they save money on the neon lights because they don't need them. The entire place glows in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
I'd like
you
to,
can find your chicken nuggets in the back of the parking lot.
I'd like to talk about some news that broke today. I didn't hear about this until just now. We don't have it. It's apparently has been confirmed, but it's not 100% yet. But Tiny Lister passed away today.
Who?
Oh,
Tiny
Really?
Lister. Yeah.
you remember the movie The Fifth Element?
Yeah. Remember No Holds Barred?
He played the president.
And No Holds Barred, he played Zeus.
Oh,
And Friday, he played Devo.
It's legit. TMZ has it.
Yeah, he played
damn!
Nicky's.
I really
I
liked
actually
him
quoted
in Fifth
earlier on this very show. I quoted Little Nicky. He played Nicky's older brother.
Yep, it's on Wikipedia too.
Yeah. Well, it was reported by TMZ. And
Just
even though
natural causes.
yeah, even though the news was at even though the news broke at 8:39 our time, 5:39 Pacific, people are just now finding out about it because it just the news just kind of went out about an hour ago.
Did they say what happened?
Found dead in his home.
It just says natural
He
causes.
was 62.
No, not natural causes. Coroner is at the house now, but has not said, not given a time of death yet, or not time of death, a
Cause of death.
Cause of death.
Cause of death, yes. Update. This
return.
update just happened. Released by LA County Sheriff's Department says friends and business associates of Lister became worried Thursday. They hadn't heard from him since Wednesday. They performed a welfare check when they made his way into the apartment, found found him dead. Says natural causes. Okay, so that you were right.
I got that update. Like when I hit the button.
Ice Cube just posted a tribute. It said America's favorite bully was a born entertainer who would pop into character with the drop of a hat, terrifying people on and off camera, then followed by a big smile and laugh. Thank you for being a good dude at heart. I miss you already. Man, that's sad news. That sucks. But 62, and the man has quite the career. I mean, he was a WWF professional wrestler because of his role in No Holds Barred. But he actually went and got trained to be a wrestler. He wrestled for the WWF for many years.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about
No Holds Barred?
Ted DiBiase's?
No, that's Virgil. No,
that's Virgil. What?
Oh, that's Virgil. Okay.
No. Zeus.
Never bring up Virgil.
Yeah, Zeus. He was Zeus.
You know, he played a Klingon in Star Trek Enterprise.
He has. Yeah, he's played a. He's been in a lot of stuff. You got to understand. This man had a career. Everything from he worked. Tiny Lister was the kind of guy who worked at everything from movies that would get Academy Award nominations. The Dark Knight. He was the head prisoner in The Dark Knight who took the detonator away from the prison guards on the boat and threw it out the window and sat back down. He did that. And on the flip side, he also was in things like Dracula 3000 and
he was on the regular show.
He played a prison guard in Wishmaster 2.
He was over 200. He has over 200 credit rolls.
He did everything. He did everything from blockbuster action movies to serious dramas to schlock to horror. He did it all. I just to talk about how much to say. One of my favorite roles of his of all time, that just because it blew me away how good he was in the role, right? It was such a tiny, stupid role, and I'm sitting there going, what is he doing in this movie? Doing this role, right? Out of anything else. He was in the movie Santa's Sleigh playing a gas station attendant. The kid walks in and he sees him, and there he is. He's all big and imposing, and the kid's like, whoa. And he's just all like, hey, how can I help you, man? Like, he's just the nicest guy. And has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. He's just there at the gas station, like, what's up? And you're like, it's Tiny Lister. What the hell is he doing in this movie? He's like the most famous guy in the movie, not named Goldberg or the one Jewish dude who's not Goldberg.
You did that.
I forget what that guy's name is, but he's the guy that runs the Jewish deli in that movie, and I forget his name, but he's a famous actor. I mean, the guy is just amazing. And it's just so heartbreaking to find this out, But I mean, 62, man, he had a good life. It sucks that it ended. So for 62, it's still pretty young, but
that's real young for 62. Being two of our or three of the people in our chat side is close to that age. Dan's that age. I'm almost that age. Lewis is that age. We ain't young. That ain't young.
I mean, you're right. But
I'm standing up for you, Brian and Carla and Carly. I promise you, I'm standing up for you here. That ain't young. We're young. That ain't old.
But what I'm saying is that he was taken far too young.
Yeah, taken too young. Yes.
That's what I was saying, and that. But even then, 62 and having that many roles under your belt, being such a prolific actor from top to bottom, start to finish, the man did. He did just about everything that you could possibly do in any kind of genre. And every time that this man stepped in front of a camera, he blew it away. I mean, just huge bucket of wind. Just huge bucket of wind. That is, I hate it. It's heartbreaking, but
I didn't realize he was that old, actually.
yeah, he was born 58 in Compton.
Yeah. Brian says he appreciates me standing up for him. He said I may not be young, but I make up for being disgustingly immature. Well, we wouldn't want you any other way.
Interestingly,
Again, I'm trying
Tiny
to figure
Lister.
out. I'm really hold up, Blake. I'm really trying to figure out where the hell people thought I was insulting people that are 60. I think Joe misunderstood something, got offended, right? Yeah, and he's taking it out on me because of,
yeah, that's what it sounds
I'm
like.
sorry. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got to the age that you did. You didn't do 200 plus amazing movies,
including his first role on Webster.
You know,
yeah.
and you had every advantage you possibly could have had, Joe. He came from Compton, man.
No, you said that he had a great life, and you know he's lived a great life and did a lot of great stuff, and then he was 62.
Yeah, I said, yeah, 62 is young. It should have gone longer.
Oh,
Yeah. But even then, 462. Seriously, you see the amount of films that he's done. You see the amount of everything that he's done. The man left a legacy. I wish that I could be as prolific as Tiny Lister was at 62.
Wow.
He should have been alive for at least another 130 years.
Okay, I can
130 years.
Make the technology happen, people. I don't want to lose another Tiny Lister.
I know. We should have had Cyber Tiny Lister.
Well, we already have that. Now Michael Clark Duncan is trending because people are saying, please don't take Michael Clark Duncan next. And I'm like, he's already dead.
Yeah.
Like, you guys kidding me?
He's gone.
Carl Witzman says I should have been in over 200 podcasts. Carl, let me tell you, just on StreamYard, we're looking at episode 220 right now since April 4th.
I want to point out that outside of Stupid O'Clock, Joe hasn't been on one podcast.
No, actually, I've been on.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Link to them. Link to all of them right now.
Well, most of them can't even be played now, but there was over 100 episodes on Blog Talk Radio.
I was trying to get more publicity for Joe, and it failed.
And it failed. There's over 100 episodes on Blog Talk Radio. Then there was the stint of about 30 episodes on TMV Cafe. Then, John, you're gonna have to get your mod rights back so you can bring yourself back in.
I want to say this. I don't know if it's just me or if I just have bad luck. However, that being said, every time I'm on a podcast, it fails miserably. It goes right in the toilet. This is the most successful thing I've ever been a part of that wasn't like surgery.
Well, here I'm fixing to throw something up on screen. Brian K. Morris says Joe will be on someone else's broadcast soon. He happens to know.
John, what did you say?
You got wrestling.
I mean, that's going to be successful with or without me. I've got 2 shows coming up this weekend. I got one tomorrow night, and I got one on Saturday. And I guarantee you all, literally, I'm not even making this up. If I didn't show up to either of those shows, they'd still go off without a hitch.
Except for the video.
They don't need the video. I mean, even if I wasn't there, I'm sure somebody they don't believe in themselves a lot of the times. But I'm sure somebody down there would be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out how to run that machine and get the videos working. They don't need me. But
you do make their shows better.
The only thing I can say is that here's why they want me there. Right? Here's why they want me there, in my opinion. This is hey Carl, this is the Brandy moment. I think they want me there because nobody else will do it. They don't want it, nobody else wants to do it. Nobody else wants to sit there and like, oh, I gotta press buttons on this shit. Even if they're just somebody that has nothing else to do with wrestling, they could be a dude that's completely untrained, who has nothing to do with wrestling. They just don't want to push buttons. I don't want to play songs when people tell me to play songs. I don't want to have to sit there and ring a bell. I don't want to sit there and make sure that videos are playing on the screens. I don't want to have to sit there and nobody else wants to do any of that. And I think that's also one of the reasons why. And I've talked to a friend of mine. I've talked to a couple of friends of mine about this, and they think that I could be right. They also think I'm overreacting, but I do believe that that's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to debut in the ring, because they're like, well, if we lose Skunk, we'll have to find somebody else to do audio and video, and nobody wants to do it. So we can't put Skunk in the ring.
That could be part of your gimmick. You have to go hit the buttons and then get in the ring.
But then somebody's got to stop it.
Every once in a while, you got to jump out and change buttons.
Well, on one hand, I'm pretty brilliant with that sort of thing, and I would be able to set it up in a way where I can hit a button, and by the time I get in the ring, it would already be done and over with and everything, and it would fade out, and it would just go to the regular thing. And then when I won the match, which I would be able to play my music on the way out of the match, but I could just set it up to where it's just like, hey, so and so, whenever I win, hit this button, and then it'll play my exit video, and I can go back to the computer or whatever. But I've actually thought that through. I'm not even lying. It's just nobody wants. They're just like, what if something goes wrong when you're not? Well, nope. What if we have a storyline thing where you get kayfabe injured and have to be sent to the hospital? Well, who's going to run audio then? Well, it can't be Skunk because Skunk's supposed to be in the hospital. And they don't want to differentiate between Kyle and Skunk and all this other stuff, and I don't want them to either. And it's complicated and it's crazy. You
could wear a robe.
Yeah, but you're ignoring the perfect opportunity for your wrestling name, the multitasker.
Well, I'm going to be talking to people about it this week. Or the person about it this weekend, where I'm actually going to sit there and I'm going to because this was advice that was given to me by a friend of mine. And I really appreciate this dude's advice. I'm going to take it 100% seriously. Jake, I know you're not watching because you never do anything I ever asked you ever to do. But if you are watching, I do appreciate your advice, and I'm using it this weekend. Because I am going to sit Jake down. I'm going to be like, we need to talk. And it's going to be, I'm going to use the same tone of voice that I used the last time that I broke up with Veronica. We need to talk. And this is you're not walking away from the situation. I want to be like, we need to talk. You're either continuing my training or you're upping my pay. It's one or the other. I'm not going to sit here and do this shit for free.
All right. I've got the perfect solution, and it would work so great for you. Have it set up to where you could play the stuff from your phone, and when you win, pull out your phone and play your own music.
After it's been destroyed from hitting the ground 6 times.
I mean, I could always put it over. I could put the phone over it.
But, we could do something where it hooks to the turnbuckle, and you do everything while you.
But the thing about it is, and Joe, while that actually technically certainly would work in a way.
Yeah.
And I'm not messing on your idea. I've literally thought about doing that.
Okay.
Not for wrestling. Not for me wrestling. I've literally thought about doing that so that I could be somewhere else besides the computer. So I could be like, I need to go take a piss. Oh, the end of the match happened? Let's hit a button. I'll play somebody, who won. Play their music, whatever. I don't care.
It'd be like a soundboard.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing about it is that I could always just, what's you call it? Team viewer. I could team viewer into it and just
Mhm.
once I have it team viewered in, then I could just click a button and be like, right, there we go. All right, look, I'm playing whoever's audio. They can leave the ring now. The next guy's coming out. I could hit that button too, and I've done that. I've not done it at TWE Live because if the show's going on, I'd rather be able to see. I want to be able to see so I can do the cues correctly. I don't want to have to so if I'm going to be there anyway, I might as well just sit at the computer. I just really wish that when I sit there at the computer and stuff, I'm looking at it from the perspective of I'm sitting here watching something that I would rather be doing. I enjoy doing sound. Don't get me wrong. I could go do sound at any show. Okay, it doesn't matter which show I go to.
But you need to get you a Padawan.
These people, that's part of the issue too. I've literally had this problem. We had a guy who I love him. Don't get me wrong. One of my best buds. Hey, this guy is like a brother to me. All right. He's horrible camera guy. Horrible. Absolutely horrid. And he's gotten better, but it's still not up to snuff with me. Every time I have to edit a match he's recorded, I'm like, I can't. It hurts my brain to watch the stupid shit he does with the camera. And again, I like him. I do. He's my buddy. But sometimes I've had enough. I'm like, come on, man. Just get. Yeah, I saw what Carl said. He was team viewer. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I have I like this dude. I mean, he's a good dude and everything. He wouldn't be like a brother to me if I didn't love him. But he sucks. He absolutely sucks. He sucks so bad. And like I said, he's got better. But at the time period, when we first started, he was the gruesome shits when it came to filming. And I would catch it, and I still to this day catch him doing shit that I'm like, I've told you 1,000 times to stop fucking doing that. Keep doing it. You're aggravating me. All right. Like he'll just get distracted and the camera will float off somewhere while he's watching the match. The camera will be over here filming a wall. As of literally 2 shows ago, I have footage of him filming something that wasn't the match and I could tell from the way that the camera was at a weird angle and stuff, he just got distracted watching the match and forgot he was supposed to be filming it. And it happens. I get it. Okay. All right. If it was during a match where it was some crazy shit was going on, I can imagine that he would stop looking at the camera for a second to watch the match. I get that, but it's every match, every time. Oh my God, you get on my nerves. Right? Now, all that being said, right? I wanted to replace him. So we got a new camera person. And she one day started mouthing off to everybody and we fired her ass. So then he was the camera guy again for a few weeks. And then we had a new kid show up and he wanted, what can I do to help out? And I was like, let me talk to the boss man. And Jaden was like, put him on the camera. See how he works out. I said, certainly. So I taught him how to use the camera and he turned out to be one of the best damn camera guys we had. The dude was a fast learner. He didn't screw anything up. When he improv'd, he made the right decisions. I was like, hey, you know what? I wouldn't have said to do that, but it ended up looking really cool on when I was editing the video footage. And the video footage was coming out. It was looking amazing. It was looking great. It was looking awesome. And then he debuted because he was getting trained. And I looked at Jaden like, did you have another camera guy ready? And he was like, no, we'll just put Joe on the camera. I'm like, he sucks. And Carson was awesome, and you didn't have anything prepared for this. So now he's back on the camera, and it sucks again. And again, no offense to him, I love the dude, but it's fucking annoying. And the thing is if I could get another camera person, that'd be great. But I still can't find another camera person. We lucked out on the last guy because he was training at TWE. The person we had before that was a piece of crap, and the person we had before that, who wasn't Joe, the last person who was running the camera down there and filming everything, she quit after a day. You know, it's hard enough finding a camera person, and that's something that anybody with very little training could actually do. You literally just point a camera at a wrestling match, walk around a little, move around the ring, and be like, I can get it from this angle, and then I move over here and get it from this angle. They went up to the top rope, I'm going to get it from that angle, you know? Somebody's
I got somebody Carl Whitzman made a comment. You need to get an old guy who won't have the desire to get in the ring. And I saw John raising his hand. Are you volunteering, John?
Maybe. Depends on what it pays.
Well,
I think they give you
2
a beer.
cheeseburgers.
That's a little much.
You get to watch the match for free.
Hey, there's a lot of guys in this business who take bumps for a hot dog and a handshake, okay? 2 cheeseburgers. What do you think? They're made of money?
I'm holding out for a bag of crystals and a large bowl of chili.
Well, that's expensive. But anyway, but yeah,
It'd probably be Wendy's chili.
It really is one of those things where you point the camera at the match, and that's all you really have to do. If any additional flourishes you can give, you know how to run a camera even better. But really, just point the camera at the match. Point the camera at the most important parts of the match. That's another thing too. And that's
Girl
what
on the side of the ring.
That's what Carson did an amazing job at. That's what Joe struggles with. Like I said, I love him, but he struggles with it. Sometimes he gets distracted. Sometimes he'll frame the camera in such a way where it's like he's pointing at the match. But
you know why I'd be the perfect cameraman?
Too close to the match. So what I'm seeing is, instead of seeing like I keep telling him, like, please back away from the ring. You don't have to be that close to the ring. You push the camera up into people's like bodies when you're supposed to be filming, and all I see is like armpit. And it's like somebody's doing chops, and all I see is armpit. I don't see their chest getting smacked. And I want to see faces. I want to see facial expressions. Back up a little bit from the ring. It doesn't listen to me. It's on my nerves. But doing that, if you listen and you review your footage and you look at it and you go, okay, I see what I'm doing wrong here. I can improve what Carson did. Anybody can do that. That's a lot freaking harder to do. Controlling audio levels, knowing how to diagnose an HDMI problem, figuring out how to run OBS. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to teach somebody how to do all that stuff. So, yeah, I understand why I'm not getting into the ring anytime soon.
Do you know why? Do you know why I'd be the perfect cameraman?
If I worked over at TWE as just their sound and video guy, I'd be fine with that. You know what? I would be okay with that, as long as my training continued, so I could go work other places. So if TWE's not running the same night as RCW, I can go down to RCW, get in the ring. I can go to Ego Pro and get in the ring. I can go to, Crux or wherever and get in the ring and have matches with people. That's what I want. I could work TWE and just do their sound if that's what they wanted me to. Okay, fine. But don't tell me you're not doing, this is what pisses me off. Don't tell me you're not doing training, and then I find out you've been training a guy for the past 6 months when we're supposed to be in COVID shutdown. The whole reason we weren't training in the first place. Not only are you training a guy for 6 months, you trained another dude and didn't even tell me. Like, this was a guy I didn't even freaking know. And all of a sudden he's debuting? The fuck? The hell happened to me? I didn't work with you for 3. Oh, I'm getting to a point now. I need to stop.
Yeah. Let's sort of change the subject here a little bit then, Skunk.
Say something happy. Say something happy. I've had too much negativity tonight. Tiny Lister's dead, and my trainer hates me. What?
Yeah.
Do you have anything happy?
Well, Brian K. Morris said, Joe's going to be on someone else's broadcast real soon. He happens. Yeah. And Brian has the show on, he does his morning shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. on Rising Tide Publications page and YouTube, Brian K. Morris on YouTube. And he also has a show on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. called Clever Title Pending. And he has started booking his 2021 guests, who just so happens to be on December or January 5th is supposed to be some guy named Joe.
Yeah,
As,
Joe Mama.
Yeah. I think he's talking about me. Yes, I'm going to be a guest on Brian's show, which is going to be weird for me for sitting on that side of the YouTube stream
He's
or
talking.
the StreamYard stream
You're going to keep reaching for controls that ain't there.
that I can't control.
He's not talking about you, man. He's talking about Joe Pontigliano.
Probably. Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Pontigliano would probably be a better guest, to be honest with you.
Do you know who Joe Pontigliano is?
Yeah, that's the oh shoot. He's sort of the good-looking guy that girls go crazy over.
That really?
That would be my brother.
The one describes about half of Hollywood.
Are you? Yeah.
Or are you talking about one of the wet bandits from Home Alone?
You're thinking of Joe Pesci. Joe Pontigliano was is a character actor. Very similar to Tiny Lister we were talking about earlier. He's been in everything, right? He's been in everything from he had early roles on MASH. He was also in Risky Business, Hill Street Blues, The Goonies, La Bamba, Empire of the Sun, The Fugitive, NYPD Blue, Memento, and he was one of his major roles was in Bad Boys. His most famous role was Cypher in The Matrix.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's the Joe Brian wants to have on his show.
Yeah, that's the Joe Brian needs on his show.
Mm.
We've lost Blake. Did he say anything or?
No, he's bailed.
Okay,
He went to audio only and then kind of disappeared.
Yeah, they went to audio only and then disappeared. I don't know. Maybe I
Okay.
drove him off because I was being too negative with everything.
Well, but yeah, Brian.
Yeah,
Brian's,
that's awesome.
yeah, Skunk. Have you ever tuned in and listened to Brian's morning shows in your?
Yeah. Here's the problem.
Yeah, you're driving.
I haven't found a way to fix this yet.
Yeah.
Which now that I know that Brian's show is on YouTube, Brian, I know you're watching, sir. Please post a link to your YouTube channel so I can click on it, go to your YouTube channel, and subscribe to it so that when the next show happens, I know about it.
Skunk.
Because Facebook,
Brian, Facebook me a link, and I will forward it to Skunk.
well, the problem is that Facebook. That's the only way I was able to watch it previously. I didn't know it was on YouTube. Right now, if I'm on Facebook in the van, and I switch over to say the map because I need to know where the hell I'm going while I'm driving. And also, because basically what the map does is if you haven't used Google Maps before for long trips with multiple stops like I have, whenever you get to a stop, it says you have arrived at your destination. And then it won't get rid of that to go to your next destination unless you click a button. And when you click the button, it goes back over to the map for a second.
Yeah.
Which if you're watching something on Facebook, I'm not watching it, I'm listening to it, but if I'm listening to something on Facebook, it'll automatically end the broadcast.
Yeah, Facebook's
Yeah,
Facebook's done an update to where you can't swap stuff around and keep the audio running. Yeah.
now, but I can do that with YouTube because I have YouTube Premium. So now that I know it's on YouTube, yes. On the flip side, you said what days?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, huh? Well, let me tell you.
10 p.m. or 10 a.m.
Let me tell you a little bit about Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are the days that I have to go to a little city called Chatsworth, Georgia.
No link, no cell coverage.
There's no cell coverage on 255 from Calhoun to Chatsworth. There is enough that I might be able to get
it on YouTube?
Because I haven't tried it. I haven't tried streaming something on YouTube. So that
You
might
can
work.
download it.
Hey, everybody! Look, it's my father. Hola.
Hi, Skunk's dad.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Everyone's saying hi. I have headphones
Hey,
on, so they can't hear you.
Oh, hey, tell him squat down so we can see how much you look like him.
Okay.
That's my dad.
Hey,
And just
hey,
for the
Skunk's
record,
dad.
I don't work for the National Security Agency. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Or
Hand over a bit.
What's up, dude? Hey, real quick. Real quick. Give me one sec, guys. Did you talk to Joe?
There you go.
All right.
But anyways, didn't Brian's show come on YouTube?
Yeah, it comes on YouTube also.
If Skunk has premium, he can download it and watch it.
Do it later. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like he can download the previous shows on those. Oh, he's on those days. So you'd have to download them and watch them later. So he couldn't participate live.
Yeah.
But still, he could download it
That's
and watch
exactly
it.
the point. Yeah.
Yeah. And Heather, have you ever tuned into Brian's show?
I've listened to it in little bits and pieces.
Yeah, but I've got Skunk muted. Hold on.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now you do again.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, I've sat there and I've listened to it for a little bit here and there. I just normally when it's on, I'm in the middle of something.
Probably usually in the middle of studying. But yeah,
Yes.
I am notorious for cracking some of my famous Facebook posts. And yeah, Brian tends to enjoy some of them.
I've seen him pop you up on screen a couple of times.
Now this is something I've talked to Brian about, and I'm going to do it. If we can get 100 subscribers to our YouTube Stupid O'Clock channel, I will do a tequila fueled episode.
Oh no.
Let's hope we hold at 89 for about 60 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Carl Witzman says that's what he does if they miss a show.
What, you give Joe Dog a bottle of tequila?
Carlene says, yeah, is that what you do, Joe? Actually, Carly, most of those are some of my past Facebook posts.
I was cooking a Mexican pork roast recipe a while back.
Yeah.
So I went to the liquor store and I told him I need a bottle of cooking tequila. And so he told me, well, all the Mexican restaurants around here use this. And he bought me this, or he gave me this really cheap bottle of tequila because all the other tequilas were like top shelf expensive stuff.
Yeah.
This was basically, the cheapest tequila you can possibly find. I think it's called El Pepe or something like that.
Oh, El Pepe.
I can't remember what it's called. But of course, I only use a few ounces in the marinade. So I've still got
encourage him, Brian.
It's a full 1/5, bottle, but I only used a couple of ounces. So I've still got a very full bottle of extremely cheap tequila downstairs.
Yeah.
We were talking about the septic tank because the septic tank's damaged, and if I park on top of it, which was right where I was parking, it'll cave in, and it'll put my truck will be in deep shit.
Yeah,
literally,
in more ways than one.
So, what did I miss?
Well, we were trying to tell you to tell your dad that we think he's raised one hell of a fine boy. But then Joe Dog went off about tequila, and John has a tequila anecdote as well.
Yeah, Skunk, this is what I've said. If we can get 100 subscribers to our Stupid O'Clock YouTube page, I will do a tequila-fueled episode.
Is that how many subscribers it takes for us to get super chats?
Just about.
How many subscribers do we have right now?
98.
So we only need 2.
Oh, A60. Where am I? Where did I get 98? Shit.
We have,
Which
Your
60,
blood pressure.
we have 64. Okay.
I can't drink cheap tequila. It just tastes awful.
Yeah, we're at 64.
I happen to know from personal experience that if you keep a bottle of Jose Cuervo under the car seat during the wintertime, it tastes like peppermint while the windshield is defrosting. My wild and misspent youth raises its head again.
Yeah.
We're
What
talking
brand of
half a
tequila?
century ago.
What brand is tequila?
He said Jose.
Jose Cuervo?
I said Jose. Joe did not mention a brand with John's anecdote. It was the cooking tequila.
There's
And
I'm
John.
asking Joe.
Ow.
Brand,
Capitan.
what brand of
Tequila is he gonna
tequila
buy?
are you going to drink if we get you to 100 subscribers?
Something from the Halicon stock.
No.
So Jose Cuervo.
Smells like butter and bourbon.
I was about to say, did you just drink that?
No.
No, he
gonna
just smelled it. You could tell by the way his face wrinkled up.
I have never tasted that other than putting it in food. So.
Really? Well, it's I don't
I
know
think
about that
there-
particular bottle, but it's not bad ice cold.
I think there's some El Jimmy door out there or something.
It is in a glass bottle, which says something for the company. So.
Yeah,
I'm
really. It would eat anything plastic.
everywhere.
I ended up wasting an entire bucket of margarita mix because I put cheap tequila in it and it just tasted like butt.
It is gold.
Or skunk, I can break out the skull with the green stuff in it.
Hell yeah. Whatever. I don't know what that means, but do it.
Now, if I
You
break
know,
out,
somebody
I
has
would-
actually done a facial reconstruction. A forensic scientist did a facial reconstruction on the skull
Among
bottle,
us.
yeah,
I've seen that. I like that.
and the skull bottle facial reconstruction looks absolutely
Heather's
great.
going to Hogwarts.
he does look sort of hammered east. Oh yeah, I call the green bottle, Dan, when I break it out at Halicon or up at Outside Con. I only allow people to have one shot of it because I call it the suborbital hop.
But it's basically antifreeze.
It almost has the antifreeze color. No, one shot of this stuff, you sit there and you go, all right, that's all right. Then all of a sudden it hits and takes you to the stratosphere. But 15 minutes later, it's gone.
Throw that up there, Jim. That's the good stuff right there.
Blackwell's Don Julio
Don
and
Julio.
Joe. Don Julio and Joe. I thought it said and Joe, and I'm going, oh well, husband and wife team. All right.
Okay, I really can't see that. Well, too late. Oh my God. I hit full screen.
Yeah.
Look at that ugly son of a bitch in the middle. Top row. Oh, fuck, that's me. Never mind. All right.
Not
Oh.
going there. Not going there.
Don
Not going
Julio
there.
has
Not
some,
going there.
Don Julio has some top shelf tequilas that are like smooth, like sipping whiskey. They don't even taste like tequila.
Hmm.
Now that stuff's made from agave cactus.
Can be.
Can
It's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the cheap stuff might be made from corn liquor, but
Yeah.
Leftover Gatorade or something.
how they get into Florida for? No, wait a minute.
Call Whitman Said $65 a bottle. Wow.
So
And
Brian still
Carl,
hasn't
that's not the
send me
expensive
a
stuff.
link to his YouTube yet. Brian, send me a link to your YouTube channel. So
I'm supposed to do it.
I want to do it. Because I'm gonna be at work tomorrow, and tomorrow's gonna be a very stressful day because I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I gotta get everything done as soon as I possibly can. It would be really nice if I had
Brian sent to me
and heard voice to listen to while I drive tomorrow. And speaking of things that need to happen, I have to pee. Now, Joe, when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna get up in a moment, and I'm gonna go urinate. Don't click anything until I get back.
Well, you better hurry up.
I'm going to. I have to pee. Just give me a second, and then we'll do the thing.
All right, better hurry.
You click something.
All right. Well, thank God. Thank God, because I just saw a view I didn't want to. It was a view we saw last week. Oh,
cat.
That is Sammy Hagar's tequila.
Cabo Wabo, yeah.
Cabo Wabo, yes.
And that pretty much would be from the agave cactus.
Yes, it says 100% agave azul.
Now I wonder if you can get what is it? The agave sugar. What is it?
Agave sweet.
Yeah.
Agave sweet.
And there's also a honey made from it.
Sort of, yeah.
I wonder if you could get just get a bunch of agave sugar and make your own tequila.
Of course, anything sugar in it.
Yeah, really. Put 151 or golden grain in whatever you want, and you made whatever it is.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Brian likes Cabo Wabo. Yeah.
I have not tried it yet, Brian. I'm one of these days I'm going to have to see about doing that.
This is
but
what
tequila makes my clothes come off.
Yeah, this is what you miss, Skunk. Carly missed the butt crack last week.
Good.
And she was waiting for it.
Do you wait? Is she
no
the butt crack? I can make that happen.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't.
Hey, speaking
after show.
Speaking of things that happened in the end.
I'm proud of you, Skunk.
I was waiting for something entirely different.
I was expecting.
I knew that was coming.
What were you waiting for this?
If there's a wiener on that monitor, I swear to God, Stu.
No.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I expected you to moon the camera, but that's for the after show.
And should I play Skunk? Did you see you didn't see our opening news story.
You're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I got to do it one more time.
I got
so now it's a closing news story.
But I think yes, I want to know because I saw it when I uploaded the after show stuff early, and I saw it and I went, "What the fuck is that?" Anyway,
did you play it?
I did not. I did not because I remember what you said that you had a video queued up for the news story, and I'm so bummed I missed it. I was gonna watch it.
Well, he's about to play it again.
I was going to watch it before the after show. I figured it can't possibly be that long.
Yeah.
Hey, there's an idea. There's an idea. Play it at the beginning of the after show.
I might.
Instead of the end of this one.
He's going to play it at both times.
I can play it again. I can play it twice.
He wants to play it like 3 or 4 times now, apparently. You're going to keep egging him on. It's going to
No. You got to listen to this. Okay, we were talking. We were talking after the ULA launch.
Yeah.
Okay, so SN8 did its thing at what? 5:40 yesterday?
5:45.
He was up past 1 o'clock watching it. The replays.
Study.
and over
Everything.
studying. Yeah. Studying
ULA,
implies
is that
that you
the
have
one,
something
the ULA
to
launch? Is that the one that's
contribute.
been sitting on the pad for the last 6 months?
Yes.
They finally got it out of there.
And that's what I
Finally
said.
got it out of there.
It's going. It's off the pad. Don't come back.
Yes, good.
'Cause I seriously
Goodbye.
thought that was going to be a monument down there at Cape Canaveral.
They got 5 more. The next one's going off in Vandenberg.
No, they got 4
Let's
more.
hope we
now.
don't have to wait.
Yeah,
6
4
months
more.
to
That's
wait
right. 4
one.
more.
No, it's supposed to go off by the end of the month.
Yeah, but this one was supposed to go off 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe Dog.
Yeah. It is time.
65.
65. What?
Well, it was 64 subscribers. Now it's 65. The
Okay.
number is going up.
Yeah.
It's supposed
Well,
to.
You better get that bottle of you know what? You better put that bottle of tequila. Take that bottle of tequila and put
Yeah.
it in the freezer so it's nice and chilled.
Yep, you're going to need it by 2023.
yeah.
Hey, Dan, come on. We'll get to 100 subscribers before then, you smartass.
I'm just picking on Joe.
And it'll have to be a Saturday night show.
Why? You're retired. You don't have to drive anywhere.
I'd rather do it after Saturday night.
Do it on a Saturday night show, and here's the reason why, Dan. Here's the reason why. Think about it for a minute. Not only would we be drunk, we'd be sleep deprived. So be up late. It'll be even worse.
Better get a
Does
bucket.
that mean we can play the air raid sirens to try and wake him up after about 3 shots?
No, see,
He's
John.
not that pathetic.
John,
I
see,
know,
John, I'm not the type of drunk that once I get drunk, I keep drinking. Once I hit my buzz, I quit and then maintain.
That is a lie.
Where's the fun in that?
And I'm also going to have to make a trip to Dollar Tree before I do this stunt too.
You mean
Did I
Dollar
tell
General?
you that Ingles is charging almost $3 a pop for those things? The B12s.
Hey, 40 seconds.
$3?
All right, let's go. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. Let's go to the other.
Whoa, what's happening? Who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? What do I mean by who am I? Okay, calm down. Get a grip now. Ooh, this is an interesting sensation. What is it? It's a sort of a tingling in my... Well, I suppose I better start finding names for things. Let's call it tail. Yeah, tail. And hey, what's this roaring sound? Whooshing past what I'm suddenly going to call my head. Wind. Is that a good name? It'll do. Yay, this is really exciting. I'm dizzy with anticipation. Or is it the wind? There's an awful lot of that now, isn't there? And what's this thing coming towards me very fast? So big and flat and round, it needs a big wide-sounding name like ow, ound, round, ground. That's it, ground. Ha. I wonder if it'll be friends with me. Hello, ground.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.